in the future, I'm sure there will be more people on to watch it, and I will have the setup a little bit more organized. You guys know I usually do it the old school way, but hold on one second. Okay, there we go. So this reading is about the messages from your future self. So this is one of my favorite readings to do because it's like you don't have to have a question in mind. You just get to see what comes up. Okay? So, and I hate to be one of those readers that are like nitpicky about the setup, but if you watched my second pick a card reading, yes or no, it was all lopsided. Jesus Christ. It was just too much. So, before we get into the 3 piles, again, pause, take a deep breath, drink some water, tune into whatever pile you feel most drawn to, and the timestamps and all of that will be in the description after this live if you're watching it live, and it'll be in the description if you're watching it afterward. So if you want to know the outcome of whatever this situation is that's going to pop up in your reading using these cards here, love this little deck. Be sure to check out the description or just go to sainttarot.com/shop, and it is completely free as a way of me saying, hey, I'm back on YouTube for the time being, because y'all know I'll be gone for a long time because of my business. But yes, so if you chose pile number 1, we're about to get into it. So if you chose pile number 1, you were drawn to the Mystic Monday tarot deck. So this is, I just got this like about a week ago. I love this deck so much. It's very vibrant. So it tells me that you guys are more of the optimistic types in terms of personality. So that's always dope. That's always a good thing. All right. So this is simply going to be, in terms of the spread, what you should know, the message of that situation, and what you can expect here, okay? And then this will be like the hard fact, the hard answer of the message from your future self. We'll get into that in a second. And this will be your message of advice, okay? So the message from your future self. Wow. It says anxiety about my sex life. So if you were under the age of 18, gone, get out of here. And choose another pal, okay? But this represents anxiety about your sex life. So I feel like there's someone, your future self is talking to you about this person that you're dealing with, or this person that still has a hold on you emotionally, someone that you used to deal with in the past, someone that you are hung up on, someone who you can't seem to shake. So we'll get a little bit more in depth about this, but this shows anxiety about your sex life in the future. And again, it doesn't have to be about like your actual sex life, but it could be about your partners feeling like you thought something was going to turn into something committed, but it's still kind of in this loophole of just friends with benefits. So that's for some of you. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. If you want something that's more tailored towards you and what's going on in your life actually, then book a private reading. How to do that is in the description, okay? So what you should know, just aside from this situation, this is just kind of like the boom, wham, pow from your future self. So what you should know. Ooh, we've got the 3 of Cups. So I feel like pile number 1, you guys are the lovers of the group. You guys are the ones who are the romantics, the flirts, the lovers, the people who love. So the 3 of Cups shows that, like, for some of you, if you guys have been struggling with loneliness, or if you've recently come out of a breakup, or maybe you've been single for like the past couple of years and you're wondering what else is out there, what you should know with this 3 of Cups is that good news is coming. That's the message of the 3 of Cups. Now, if it was reversed, then that good news would be lackluster, but it's upright. So good news is coming regarding your love life, regarding having a relationship that's not just friends with benefits anymore, something that is more along the lines of homie, lover, friend, and again, not just friends with benefits. For those of you guys, again, who have been struggling with just loneliness and not really finding your tribe, you're going to meet people who are more to your liking, more like-minded people. So this is what your future self is trying to tell you, that you won't be alone for long. So just hang in there. The Three of Cups also talks about happy times. So again, with you being drawn to the Mystic Mondays deck, again, it tells me that you are more of the optimistic type of person. And I feel like maybe in the recent past you've attracted more like darker energies, people who kind of bring out heavier emotions and just kind of things that you don't want to see within yourself. But your future self is telling you that things are going to improve in your relationships. Things are not always going to be so tumultuous, so unbalanced, and so stressful to deal with. The problems in your close relationships are going to improve. Like they're going to not go away like they never existed, but they're going to be solved. And you're not going to feel so alone. And again, the Three of Cups represents the energy of 3 years. So this is your future self 3 years from now. And it's saying that the things that you're worried about right now are going to work out just fine. Like, it's going to be a happy outcome. So try not to worry so much about it. Thank you. I'm like super excited about the pick a card readings. They're definitely more fun for me. So there will be more of them. Okay, so for pile number 1, in terms of just the message of that energy that I just explained. Oh, okay, Spirit. 9 of Cups. So again, this is confirmation. Now, if you watch pick a card readings or tarot readings in general, you know what the 9 of Cups is, boo. The 9 of Cups is the wish fulfillment card. This is your prayer being answered. This is your cup runneth over. This is you really stepping into the energy of like it being your moment to shine. So for a lot of you guys, oh wow, I got it. Thank you, Spirit. I got it. So let me take a deep breath. A lot of you guys really feel like everyone else is kind of getting their moment. They're getting married, or they're getting engaged, or they're having kids, or they're just, everything is coming together for them. And for you, it just seems like it's one hiccup, because we've got all these cups here. It's one hiccup after another. But Spirit is saying the changes, the good news that's coming for you is going, not only is it going to be long term, but it's going to be something much better than you're expecting. Much better than you're expecting. So whatever delay you were experiencing, it's like Spirit is going to make up for it big time with this 9 of Cups and 3 of Cups energy. Again, this is your future self from 3 years in the future. Like 3 years in the future. It's saying 9 of Cups. It's saying you get what you want in the end. This is the energy of like the geeky person in school that no one ever like paid attention to, all of a sudden glowing up, all of a sudden being like, not an overnight success, but like it's almost like the story of the ugly duckling. Like you really, whatever you're insecure about, like it's gonna work itself out. You're gonna find your confidence. Know that confidence is gonna come with time, and know that yes, you may be a late bloomer, but it doesn't mean that what you get is gonna be any less than anyone else, than what other people receive. And because we've got this anxiety about my sex life, I feel like this has a lot to do with your love life, and just being tired of having one failed relationship after the next. But your future self is saying you're going to find someone and it's going to work, and you guys are going to, I don't really see marriage for this pile. I don't feel like your future self in this particular reading, because we'll do more readings like this in the future, but for this particular group, I don't see marriage, but I see like a partner. Like this is like couple goals. So, and it's like, it's going to shock people, because you were the one that was kind of like single for a while. Everyone else that you know is kind of like having their way. They're having their children, they're getting married, all of this. And you kind of seem like you're still trying to figure things out. But keep, like, your future self is trying to tell you, like, stay in that energy. Don't try to figure everything out. Don't try to compete with other people. And I know that's not you. I could tell based on your energy that's not your type of personality. You just want something that isn't just friends with benefits. And your future self is saying that you are going to have a relationship that is not one-sided. So stop choosing people who just are willing to give you friends with benefits connections. Like, you are going to find that person. And I do feel like if some of you have been dealing with someone for a while and you haven't really taken it to the next level, if you've been dealing with this person for 3 years or more, know that this is the person that your future self is talking about, that you're going to be with, and it's going to work out. It's like your friends and family are going to be like, well, I didn't think they would last that long, and you guys actually last long. So that's if that's your story. If you're single and you don't have anybody, your ex is just like they moved to Switzerland or something like that, and you can't seem to find anybody on Tinder or whatever, so you got this anxiety about your love life and your sex life, know that you're going to find someone, and you guys are going to date for about 3 years, but you guys are going to, like, move in together. You guys are going to be happy together. It may not, I feel like it's going to be kind of unorthodox. It's not going to be like the traditional, like, Pinnacles energy where you meet, you get engaged after 6 months, and then you get married on the beach and you stay together until you pass away. No, it's gonna be a little rocky, just like, water is up and down. It's gonna ebb and flow, but it's gonna be upstream and not downstream. So your future self is telling you, don't worry about what you don't have, because it's gonna come with time, and it's going to be even more beautiful, even more abundant than you would have ever imagined. I can't even get it out. I'm stumbling over my words, because it's almost like your future self is like excited to tell you that, like, whatever it is that you feel like you don't have, you're going to have it tenfold in the future. So stop being, like, so anxious and so, like, rushing through things and not trusting your intuition and accepting partners thinking that they're the one. Like, think before you commit to people, because your future self is also trying to tell you that someone is better off as a friend. You'll know if that message is for you or not. But it's saying, like, your future self is also telling you, don't give up on love. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your creative projects. Don't give up on that person. Like, don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on becoming the person, the version of you that you want to be. Especially look at this card. This is beautiful. And this is the energy, the message of this Three of Cups here. So let's say, for example, you had the Three of Cups and then you had the Eight of Swords or something. It represents some sort of good news, but you don't feel like you deserve it. This is something well-deserved. This is something that you have waited for and are going to have. And I feel like a lot of you guys, this has to do with having a kid. Like, some of you guys may be struggling with fertility and things like that. That's just for some of you. Some of you guys, maybe you got divorced and you don't think you'll ever get married again. You will. Your future self is saying the future is bright. It's not dark. Like, keep looking forward. Keep moving forward, because there's nothing in the past for you. Everything that's meant for you is ahead of you. So get out of your anxiety. Get away from partners who are manipulating you and using you just for sex, or using you, your kindness for weakness. Like, work on yourself, work on your confidence, work on your dreams, and for a lot of you guys, if you guys have businesses as well, your business venture is going to take off. Your future self is telling you about that. You may meet someone relating to a creative project or some sort of entrepreneurial endeavor. Like, if you're single right now and you're watching this and you were drawn to this, I can't even move forward. Like, your future self is trying to tell you you are going to find the one. But you've got to find yourself. Ooh, wasn't that poetic, y'all? Okay. So, in terms of what you can expect, we've got the Queen of Swords. So I definitely feel like a lot of you guys, again, if you were drawn to this pile, I feel like, again, you're optimistic, you're easygoing, you're easy to talk to, you have a very bubbly personality, or at least that's how you come off. And I feel like sometimes you feel like people, again, take your kindness for weakness. But with this Queen of Swords being in the energy of what you can expect is you're going to have more power. Like, you're not going to feel so powerless. You're not going to feel so less than. You're not going to feel so small or so insecure about things. Like, if some of you guys have like a fear of public speaking or a fear of like putting your creative project or business out there, like, confidence, like, you're going to become an expert in your field, whether it's relating to business or just a traditional career path. Like, for a lot of you as well, your future self is trying to say that you're going to be making more money. You're going to have more. You're not going to be in this paycheck to paycheck type of lifestyle. Like, you're going to have more freedom in the future. So keep working, keep building, keep climbing those mountains, because sooner or later you're going to reach the top. What do you see back there? Those mountains. And you know, you guys probably will be shocked, but I love all types of music. The song that is popping up for me with this is The Climb by Miley Cyrus. Actually, that's like, listen to that song, and that's the message from your future self to you. Miley Cyrus, The Climb. Like, that's your energy. And that doesn't just have to do with you and your life. That has to do with your love life. Like, a lot of you guys have taken some real hard blows to the heart. You've chosen the wrong people in the past, and it's also, I feel like your future self is like, don't let the things that happen to you turn you cold or turn you into a bitter person. Don't be bitter about the things that you've gone through or that you're going through right now, because this is the energy of what you can expect. You know, there's still going to be some things, some tough decisions that you're going to have to make, but if you make them, you'll be grateful because of it. Okay? Now, the message of advice from your future self. Ooh, break free. It says, try different ventures and experiences as a way to grow and learn. So again, that resonates powerfully with this Queen of Swords energy here. This is a woman or a person, even if you're a man. This is a feminine energy, so it's more passive and receptive. So this is your future self telling you not to react so much to things, to stand in your energy, to make a decision and stick with it. Like, don't be so wishy-washy about things. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, because that's where the growth is. That's where the abundance is. That's where the healing is. So also, before we move on to the next pile, with this Queen of Swords and this break free here, a lot of you guys that are dealing with childhood traumas or just trying to break free from ancestral patterns and just chains of poverty or just negative thinking, like, for those of you that have been focusing on growing as a person, you are going to evolve into a better version of yourself, a version of yourself that people respect, that people reach out to for support and for guidance. Like, again, your future self ultimately is telling you you're not going to be alone. Even if you feel like, I don't know how I'm going to meet a new person, how I'm going to make friends, how I'm going to start over in this new city, it's going to work. It's going to work. Okay, so break free. Get out of that negative thinking, because that's not you. Get out of this anxiety about your love life, your sex life. You know, and also for some of you guys, you need to be celibate for a while as well. I feel like a lot of you guys tend to attract partners that manipulate you sexually, or maybe you guys have some sexual trauma in your past that is blocking your path to confidence, that's blocking your path to this Queen of Swords, which is someone who isn't afraid to speak her truth. This is someone who isn't afraid to go after what it is that she wants. She's not afraid to fail. But I feel like a lot of you guys have lost your way in the past because of your fear of failure. And Spirit is saying the only way for you to overcome that is to face that fear now rather than later. And I think that your future self is trying to say, by facing that fear of failure, you're going to realize that it doesn't exist. That you're stronger than you think you are. You're stronger than you ever knew. Okay? So again, be sure to check out the description box after this live if you want to know the outcome of this situation using this deck here, or just go to sainttarot.com/shop. And we're about to move on to pile number 2. And if you're liking this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment. I love all of that. My Instagram is in the description, or will be, if you want to follow me on there as well. Pile number 2. Oh shoot, let's get this out of here. So this is right here. Okay. Pile number 2, the message from your future self. It says, why are you allowing this situation to continue? So, and excuse my handwriting, I made this deck one day when I was bored. I was like, I want a deck of questions so that I can journal. So I don't know if you guys are into journaling, but whenever a question pops out in this deck, it's time for you to journal your emotions. So if you don't like writing, go to the voice memo app on your phone and just talk it out. Do talk therapy, but answer this question. And you're going to know what this situation is, because this is very specific. Again, why are you allowing this situation to continue? Your future self is saying that you need to stop running away from your problems. Group number 2. Let's see. All right, so the vision, just the situation. Ooh, Jesus Christ. We've got the 10 of Swords. But this isn't really the 10 of Swords. In the Modern Witch Tarot deck, this is the extra card. And it's just a reminder that even in our darkest days, everything is going to be okay. What is that? What's that saying? Something, if it doesn't break you, it makes you. I don't know. I can't remember, y'all. I'm tired. My coffee is wearing off. But like, oh, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. That's what it's saying. So that's the message from your future self. So a lot of you guys are really, I feel like you guys have really seen some really dark days recently, because the 10 of Swords represents the timing of 10 months. So I feel like a lot of you guys have been having a hard time. You feel like you don't really have anyone to talk to. You guys, even if you have a lot of family and friends, like I feel like you guys are really kind of reaching a dead end in terms of just how you feel about things. And because you've got this journaling energy here, I feel like a lot of you guys kind of are emotionally overwhelmed, and your future self is trying to tell you, again, stop running away from your problems. What we run away from eventually catches up to us. But I feel like a lot of these things here are things that were unfair, are things that you had no control over. And I feel like a lot of these things have to do with like your upbringing. Because again, the Swords represents Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, and these are the people energies in astrology, more so than anything. So I feel like a lot of you guys feel victimized by your circumstances, or you feel like you're not getting like the opportunity that you deserve. You just feel like you're just in this energy of one roadblock after another. But this is your future self is telling you to stand up, to be bold, to, if there's not a way, make a way. Like, get out of this passive energy and take action, but only after you clearly commit to what it is that you need to do, and not just what you're willing to do because you're afraid. I hope that makes sense. If not, rewind it, listen to it again. But that, again, we're just scratching the surface. If you want a private reading, you know how to do that. Go to sainttarot.com. The message of this situation here. Good. Okay, because I hate this card, and it's good that we've got the star. So the star is obviously the energy of Aquarius. So whatever this situation is, I feel like there are a lot of things on your plate that you want to set down, that you want to let go. But I feel like you don't know how to do it. And Spirit is saying it's okay. You don't have to do it on your own. By the time of Aquarius, if you're watching this in the future, just know Aquarius energy is January, February. So however that relates to you, that's when you're going to when you're going to feel better about these things that are stressing you out, about this kind of like depressed energy that you've been in, that you've had trouble shaking. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to pause for a second and say, if you are drawn to pile number 2 and you've been going through things, don't hold it all in. Talk to somebody about it. And if you don't have anyone to talk to about it, write it out. Or again, go to the voice app in your phone and talk it out with yourself. Like, get all of that stuff out. I feel like a lot of you guys are confused about what to do next in your life. And Spirit is saying by the time of January, hold on. There we go. So by the time of January, February, like these things that you're worried about are already going to be in motion. So like take care of yourself, pal number 2. You definitely need to get more sleep. And I feel like if you guys have been dealing with nightmares or like co-workers, like I just feel like a lot of you guys have been dealing with some negative people and you don't know how to deal with it. Like you don't know how to deal with the conflict in your life. You don't know how to deal with the problems in your life. Spirit is telling you that like you're not dealing with it on your own. The stress is coming from the belief that it's you against the world. But if you would just sit that down for a second, you would see that the healing is happening. It's just happening it has to happen on the inside before it can happen on the outside. So I definitely feel like the people that were drawn to this group have a lot of childhood trauma, have a lot of issues with setting healthy boundaries, have a lot of issues maybe with bullying. And you know, to some degree it's not as extreme as it is in like for kids, but I feel like a lot of you guys are dealing with partners who are not treating you right, with, you know, let me just take a breath, because I feel like this is how you guys feel. You guys feel like life is treating you unfairly, but life is trying to get you to stand up for yourself, pal number 2. The pal number 2, Spirit is trying to send you the healing that you need, but you've got to break free from certain habits that are making it difficult for you to heal. Not short term, but long term. And again, if you have been on this path of trying to take care of yourself, trying to slow down, trying to eliminate, you know, certain people from your path, and you still feel like things are going slow, things are going to pick up in the time of January and February. Okay? Wherever, at whatever point you're watching this, just know January and February is a time where you're going to see healing. Is a time where, ooh, wow. So obviously you guys see this darkness here. And then we've got this star, which represents the light at the end of the tunnel. There is light at the end of the tunnel. That's what your future self is saying. It won't always be like this. You won't always be sad. You won't always be the victim. You won't always be the person that finishes last. So get back in touch with your beauty. Get back in touch, like, do what it takes to build up your confidence. Don't let anyone tear you down, pile number 2. It's just so much that I want to say, but I don't want to go too deep because I'll be an emotional wreck. Give me 1 second, y'all. I don't like to be one of those readers that just like talk. I want to tune in to what this is really saying at this point before we move to this card. Wow. A lot of you people, I'm sorry. My words are all over the place right now because of this energy. But a lot of y'all have dealt with, like, people have walked away from you. A lot of you guys are really struggling with abandonment issues. You're not depressed. You're struggling with abandonment issues. And again, learning how to talk about how you feel, learning how to release certain skeletons in your closet, things from your past that really broke you or almost came to the brink of doing so. By getting those things out and not just scrolling on Facebook and YouTube, you know, actually working on yourself and not distracting yourself is the key to the healing. That's what your future self is trying to say. Okay? Now, what you can expect. Ooh, we've got the 4 of Swords. So I feel like a lot of you guys, one of the things that your future self is trying to tell you is like, if you know that your family has a history of mental illness, this is your future self saying, no, you're not going to like fall apart and be in a mental institute. No, that's not what it's saying here. But it's saying to take care of yourself, to seek help when you need it, to build up a support system. Don't feel like you got to take the world on alone. Like, get out of solitude. Stop isolating yourself so much. That's what your future self is trying to tell you. Again, why are you allowing this situation to continue? Why are you allowing these things that are so long ago in the past to hinder you now and to keep you from where you deserve to be in your future. Like, I feel like it's time for you guys to, a lot of you guys are really battling some demons emotionally. And I don't want you to get like freaked out by that. Demons is just a hard word for trauma. Your future self is telling you to deal with your trauma, because I kind of feel like your future self is saying, again, this represents the energy of 10 months, that if you don't, next year is just going to be a repeat of your disappointments this year. Why are you allowing this situation to continue? You feel me? That's what your future self is saying to you. Also, your future self, with this energy of what to expect, is that nothing is going to improve unless you do. When you feel good, you do good. We can't, it's a terrible thing to manifest from a place of trauma, of pain, of exhaustion, because then you start to manifest things that are only short term, or people that, you know, hurt you rather than help you, because you're not fully healed. So if you are drawn to pile number 2 and you're going through some issues in your relationship, know that it's going to continue to be like that for the next 4 to 10 months, because you need to work on you. If you're single and you're wondering why you're not finding the right person on Tinder or on all of those other apps, you know, whatever, the Facebook love app, it's because you're not ready. You're not ready for a relationship, and you need to be honest with yourself about that. And whatever experiences, whatever no's you're getting, know that it's happening for the best. It's happening so that you can heal from things that I think that you are shutting out, things that you don't want to talk about, things that you thought, oh, okay, well, I'll just get over it with time, things that you're trying to like. It's time for you to heal, pile number 2. I'm just going to say that. It's time for you to heal. It's time for you to stop being here doing this, you know, chasing after things and really looking for the happiness that you're seeking externally within. Until you go in, everything without will be in chaos. Okay? I don't like to overdo it, so we're going to leave it at that. The message of advice for you from your future self about this situation. See what I say? It says purification. It says it's time for a cleansing detoxification of your body and your mind. And that is the energy of the 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords represents your well-being. Your future self is telling you to take better care of yourself, to take care of your health. Oh my God. And nope, don't get scared. Don't feel like you're gonna die or nothing like that. No. That's not what your future self is saying. But I feel like some of you, this is for some of you, you have some underlying health issues that you're kind of just being willy-nilly about, and your future self is trying to tell you to take your health more seriously. Not just your physical health, your mental, spiritual, and emotional health as well. Find ways to keep yourself encouraged. Take a hard look in the mirror at some things that you can change. Because in life, yeah, we can't control everything, but there are some things that we can control. And your future self is telling you to focus on the things that you can control. Make the tough decisions now, so in the future you can kick your feet up and enjoy the fruits of your labor. But right now, it's time for you to take action and do what needs to be done, even if you're afraid to do so. And make sure you guys journal the answer to this question. Why are you allowing this situation to continue? If you don't know what this situation is, ponder on it, go to bed. When you wake up, you'll have more clarity. But I feel like you guys already know what this is. This is that thing that's holding you back. This is this thing that's keeping you in the dark. A lot of you guys are not trusting your intuition because you're afraid of getting hurt. But your future self is saying, trust it. By doing so, you'll reach that light at the end of the tunnel sooner than later. Okay? Pile number 2, thank you. I'm about to move on to pile number 3. Check the description box after this live or just whenever you see this, and information will be there. Again, if you are enjoying this reading, be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, or whatever you feel drawn to do. Okay, pile number 3. Messages from your future self. Ooh, so we've got Mercury. It says your skills environment, communication, career, and curiosity. The decisions you make. So your future self is telling you to make better decisions, to slow down, like don't rush into making decisions, like think before you act, basically. So we're gonna dive a little bit deeper, but that's like the gist of what your future self is trying to tell you at this point as you're watching it. So the vision. We've got the King of Pentacles. So this, in terms of the vision or just the situation altogether, give this person a chance. Your future self is telling you to give this person, this new person, or this person that you've been dealing with for a while that you kind of are going in circles with, this person that you feel like is dragging their feet, your future self is telling you to give this person a chance. Also, your future self is telling you to give this job a chance. Whatever this thing is that you started and you kind of feel tempted to walk away from, your future self is telling you to have patience. It's going to think more longevity and less instant gratification. Long-term investment. Think long-term. So that correlates perfectly with this Mercury here. Before you make decisions, like think about, I feel like, all right, hold on, let me slow down because I get very excited. This is your older self. This is like you in your elderly years that's speaking to you, actually. Like, so, and I feel like if you were drawn to this pile, this is the Hoodoo Tarot. So I don't feel like you're a very impulsive person. I feel like you're actually very deep and you're very wise beyond your years, whether you know it or not. Like, or at least that's who you're becoming if you don't feel like that's your archetype. But just know that your future self is telling you to think long term when you're making your decisions in love, in life, in career, spending habits. Make wiser decisions. Again, this is your elderly self that's speaking to you. Choose the right partner. Ooh, I felt that in my chest. Oh my goodness. Pile number 3, your future self is telling you to choose the right partner, choose the right job. Like, make decisions based on happiness and not just being in your head. Because again, this is Mercury and this is Earth energy with this King of Pentacles. That's Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. So again, with that energy popping out, it's relating to the 2nd house of your money, the 6th house of your lifestyle, the 10th house of your success. So this is your future self telling you, don't be tempted by like what everyone else is doing. Like, stay on your path, even if it gets difficult. And I almost can't even speak after that. That's what your future self is saying. And it feels like your future self is telling me to just stop. Like, just stop there and move on. Whew. Okay, so the next energy, the message of this, kind of like a clarifier. Wow. We've got the Son of Coins, which is the Knight of Pentacles. So your financial situation, for some of you, your future self is telling you to go back to school so that you can make more money, so that you can get a position that you deserve, that is more in alignment. Like, your future self is telling you it's time for you to look at a different career path because the one that you're on is not fulfilling. That's for some of you. This is a general reading, okay? Keep that in mind. Give me 1 second. For some of you, whoever it is that you're dealing with, you guys are going to get married in the future. That's for some of you. You're going to know. If that person is not the archetype of the King of Pentacles, someone who is a provider, someone who has a good job, someone who is family oriented, you know that's not the message for you. But if that's the person that you're dealing with, your future self is telling you, like, prepare for marriage. Like, think about the type of person that you want to be. Like, ooh, I received that. Thank you, Spirit. Your future self is also saying, like, don't decide that you are who you are based on what you've been through. Like, give yourself a chance. Like, how can I say this? Your future self is basically trying to tell you, like, stop judging yourself based on your past. Stop telling yourself what you can't do because of your current circumstances. Like, with this energy of like, I don't know what you call this back here, but I'm just going to say this relates to astrology, and you see how he's studying. So it's saying that time heals all wounds, for one. Number two, you are going to get better at something. Like, you're going to get better at saving money. You're going to get better at dealing with relationships. You're going to get better at, like, you're going to get over your fear of commitment. You're going to find someone who is willing to commit if you're struggling in that area. You're going to master the area of your life where you've experienced the most struggle. So I feel like a lot of you guys, your future self is telling you something relating to your Saturn return. So if you are around this time in the energy of 20, like the age of 27 to 30, your future self is telling you to slow down and make wise decisions. If you are not in that age group, just know that around that time, 27 to 30, if you're not in alignment with the right type of career, if you're not in alignment with the right type of life partner, like, you need to get in alignment by that time frame, because that's when things will begin to solidify. That's when you will start to feel like you're on solid ground. If you are like 57, again, we have multiple solar returns, so it doesn't have to just be 27 to 30. Like, whatever age group that you're looking at, that you're at this point, just know that your future self is warning you about your Saturn return, that it's a time where you need to be careful. It's a time where you need to slow down. It's a time where you need to not just take everything at face value. And even if this has nothing to do with your solar return, that is the message for you from your future self. Like, trust your intuition when you're dealing with people coming into your life. Don't settle for less. Like, now is not the time to settle for less. These energies here, this is the archetypal energies of people who are kind of like the overachievers. These are the people who, settle down late in life. These are the people who, like, the rags to riches type of energies. Like, these are the people who had to really make things happen on their own. And because of that, their results are almost even more powerful, even more, I can't even find the word, like, even more worth it. Like, this is a person who, you may be a person who doesn't have a lot of support, who maybe your business isn't doing so well, or, maybe you want to start the business, but you feel like you don't know enough. Like, this is saying, be in the energy of someone who is always learning. Don't be afraid. Like, always be coachable. That's what your future self is saying. Like, always keep pursuing your goals. That's what your future self is telling you. Keep pursuing your goals, even if they feel like they're too big to reach. At least if you don't make it, you'll at least be farther than you were before, right? Right. Now, what you can expect. 9 of Wands. So this is the energy of challenging yourself to grow. So again, this is all Saturn energy. So whether it has to do with your Saturn return or not, Saturn in your birth chart basically is that energy within you that accepts a challenge so that you can grow. So your future self is telling you not to run away from your challenges. Like, don't back down from the challenges in your life, whether it be financially, romantically, emotionally, mentally, whatever it is. Don't back down from your challenges, because on the other side of it is great, 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 great success. And I feel like this is going to be an amazing card. I don't know what it's going to be. I haven't looked at it, but let's just get into it. The message of it. The message of advice for you from your future self, it says positive energy. It says surround yourself with positive people and situations and avoid negativity. So I feel like your future self is trying to tell you that there are some people in your life right now that are not going to be there in the future. So don't let anyone make you lose focus. Don't let anyone tempt you from your path. Stay focused on your long-term goals, because your future self, again, your future self is your older self that's speaking to you. So obviously it's speaking to you with wisdom, and it's saying, if you make the right, sometimes making the right decision, how can I say it? Sometimes the right decision is the harder decision to make. And I can't even get my words out. It's almost like, I feel like a lot of you guys don't know how you're going to make something happen, how you're going to pay your bills, or how, like, these little things, like material world things that you're worried about. And your future self is saying, think bigger. If you're struggling, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you know what to do. It's time for you to make a career change. Make that decision. Don't be afraid to make the tough decisions. Not only will it give you confidence, but it'll change your life in a way that will bring you more positivity, that will bring you more blessings than lessons. Like, you're ready to take your life to the next level. So stop holding yourself back. Stop waiting on the perfect time. The perfect time is now for you to go after the things that you truly desire and that you know that you truly deserve. Okay? So, if you want to know the outcome of this situation using these cards here, be sure to check out the description box or just go to sainttarot.com/shop. It is 100% free as a way of me saying, hey, I'm back on YouTube, okay? Moving on to the final pile. Whew. That was just intense reading. Okay, pile number 4. The message from your future self. Now we've got just the letter N. So obviously Spirit wants me to channel. So I'm going to pull some more cards because I want to clarify. I don't want to drain myself with this N. This could be many things. November. Thank you, Spirit. Never mind. I don't need no new cards. This is telling you something about the time of November. Again, this is a timeless reading. You could be watching this in February. This message has to do with November. Your future self is telling you something about November. Let's move forward. So, the vision, the situation. 6 of Wands. Hold on, let me get this off the screen. Yes. So, it's telling you November, you're going to have your victorious moment. You're going to have a big win. You're going to get what it is that you've been after. You're going to overcome some sort of challenge that you've been dealing with for, I feel like this has to do with summer. Some sort of challenges, some sort of delays. Not even really delays, I would say. Because the 6 of Wands comes after. You would think the 5 of Wands, but it actually comes after the 5 of Cups. I can talk about that later in the future. So this is about you getting the last laugh. Your future self is telling you you're going to get the last laugh. I'm not even going to go too deep into that. You're going to know if this is meant for you right off the bat when I say that. You're going to get the last laugh. The King of Cups. So I feel like a lot of you guys that are drawn to this pile, you have relationship drama, relationship issues. You know, you've been dealing with like just negative relationship partners or just negative people in your life that kind of drain your energy. And also I feel like a lot of you guys are, you know, having to put up with situations that are not necessarily making you happy. Like you're doing what you've got to do. So maybe you're at a job that completely makes you miserable, but it pays the bills. And you know, one day you'll be able to break free from it. But for right now, you're trying to be calm and just do what you've got to do. But in this message card of the King of Cups is showing that your future self is definitely reminding you that you're on the right path and that you are going to, if this message is for you, this is a general reading, that you're going to find someone that is more on your level, that is more emotionally available. So I feel like if you guys have been dating and you for a while, especially if this is your story, November is going to be a better time for you. November, you may meet someone new in November, or that person that you had feelings for, but it never really went to the next level or the level that you would have liked. I feel like that person may reach out to you in November. Like, so if you're dealing with a no contact type of situation, just know that you may hear from that person in November. And I feel like this is a person that you actually want to be with. So November, and it's not like, hey, what you doing? It's almost like this person is gonna be more. I feel like this is someone that you know for sure. This is someone that you kind of are pining after. If you don't know of anybody and that's not your story, I feel like you actually may be pursued by someone in November. It doesn't have to be isolated to November, but it can just simply be talking about fall going into the winter time. Wow. I'm just going to pause for a second to see if there's anything else that wants to pop out here. But this